Jesus was invited to a garden party at the house of a big-shot Pharisee. It was a Sabbath day, and they, the Pharisees and the lawyers, were keeping an eye on him. One of the waiters couldn't seem to hold on to anything. He was dropping everything because his hands were, as they say where I used to live, his hands were all swole up. They were watching him, the lawyers and the Pharisees, not the waiter, but Jesus. Jesus watched back. Then he said, "What does the law say? Should I make this man better or not?" They wouldn't say, either the lawyers or the Pharisees. Jesus healed the man, and he went away with 6 wine glasses in each hand. That made 12. The host and his friends shook their heads, not at the 12 glasses. Jesus shook his head. He said to his host, "Someone is coming before the afternoon is over to tell you your son has fallen into the well. Will you pull him out?" The host looked at his friends. They all looked at Jesus. Jesus looked back. Jesus looked around, noting how the guests chose their places to get as close to the center of things as they could. He said a man was invited to a party, much like this one. He sat next to the host, as he usually did, but a man the host owed money also came, and the host had to ask the man sitting next to him to move. "Sorry," the host said, and he was. But that didn't help the man, who ended up sitting at the children's table, much to their amusement, to everybody's. At another party, much like this one, a great friend of the host, a great man, sat at the children's table. The host came and said to him, "Hey, come on, sit up here by me." But the man preferred to remain with the children. "Who has ears, let him hear," Jesus said, or her, though there were no women at the Pharisees' party. Let her hear. The host was still looking at Jesus, one of those looks intended to make the one looked at uncomfortable. Jesus looked back. He said to the man, "Why, when you give a dinner, you invite only your friends or people you owe a favor to, so they will invite you back? Am I right?" The man continued looking at Jesus. "Wasn't this obvious?" Jesus said, "You know, you ought to invite people that can't pay you back." The man looked at Jesus, but his look had changed. He wanted to ask why, but he didn't. Jesus looked back at the man.